I was only like giving directions all the time and punching computers, so I had nothing cool to say. I was like, Brad, I didn't get any of the great swear words and all the nasty stuff. I was always like, get up on the computer, get out, directions are this way, come in and tell everybody where they're going. So someone would have to tell me a cool line if you could even find one that Benny said, but it was just nice being there and part of the team for me. Okay, I think it's episode 1 or 2. This is me. He was a little green in the beginning. Kind of got a little motion sickness.
Where? Oh yeah.
I have a question for you, for Brad, and what is your most favorite and least favorite Transformer character you've done?
Favorite and least favorite Transformer characters?
Well, since I've only done one Transformers character, I think my least favorite, and funny enough, my favorite was Kicker. Actually, he was my favorite Transformer character because I was psyched to be working on Transformers, but a lot of fans of the show hate him. So he's a lot of people, because he's a whiny little prick, but I like that. I'm a whiny little prick too. Hey, he can sense Energon. Good answer. Right? Yeah, he fights alongside the Transformers, gets a cool suit, Energon sword, and, he's a little whiny. He rides a motorcycle. It's cool. I did stuff on...
In spandex.
I did stuff on Cybertron and Energon, but I think the favorite was the first one I did when I played Jetstorm on Beast Machines. That was a blast to do that guy. It was a fun character. He was working with Sue Blue, who's just a great director, so it was that show was a really good time for me.
I only played one character in Transformers, and it was Thunderblast in Transformers Cybertron. I hated him.
Next question. In the white shirt, that was your last time.
This question is for everyone. On average, how long does it take for you to get into the core of the characters that you portray? All the characters.
It's a good question. On average, how long does it take to get into the core of them? It's kind of funny, because I know you start a series sometimes, but by the time you're halfway into it, you've kind of migrated a little bit, because we don't get an entire script. We don't get all of it up front. We get a very small piece when they cast the show. Sometimes it's 1-page audition sheet. We see a little bit of it and a general idea of what they want. You come in and they go, yeah, we like Brad's voice for that, or we like Dean's voice for that, and they cast you. Then you start doing the show, and then you realize, as you're getting into it, a little more about them, and like, the backstory is starting to be told to you as you're moving through, which changes it somewhat, but not drastically, and sometimes they decide to go back and pick up some lines if you've migrated from what you were doing originally. But usually it's up to the director to help you get into it right off the hop. They don't want you trying to 7 episodes in, you finally found out who it is. But I think I'm probably usually a good 3 or 4 episodes into something before I'm really comfortable with what they're saying and what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the process is a little longer for prelay ADR, because prelay, it's your voice, your voice track put down first, and then the animation is put in later. But for ADR, the animation is there, and especially with Lagoon, it's all done in Japanese voice length, so we have to throw our English words quickly, or sometimes stretch them out, as Brad was saying. But I'm sure he does. Anyways, that's called a brain fart, by the way. But ADR is easier to it's an easier process with ADR, because you're just basically throwing the words into voice.
We also do have, the dubbing versus the prelay stuff, we have the advantage in ADR stuff, in dubbing, of seeing great, amazing visuals right in front of us as we record. So sometimes you'll see a still picture of your character, and then, a couple episodes in, you'll see that character in motion, everything's happening around them, and that will kind of help guide your process of developing the character and whatnot. To give you a horrible example, I worked on a show called Hamtaro. Have you ever watched Hamtaro? No. And so I got cast in Hamtaro doing a certain voice, and then just seeing my hamster interact with the other hamsters and hearing the other ham voices, I kind of
slowly changed my voice a little bit. So if you listen to the first episode versus the last one we recorded, they're a bit different. And partly I did that because I wanted to...
Laura! Connie's here.
I miss Hamtaro, man. It was fun. It was a fun show. But there were such great voices on that show, and so I kind of curbed mine a little bit to fit in its own little niche within the cast. And I probably shouldn't have done that, but nobody corrected me, so...
Do your Hamtaro voice.
In France, they say bonjour. Cupid's like an angel. If he shoots an arrow at you, it makes you all schmubby-wubby.
And what was his name?
His name was Maxwell. Okay, I hate to gush over Hamtaro, but if you've seen Hamtaro, you'll see there's a bunch of hamsters all on screen, and sometimes they're all talking at different things. So you have to pick out your hamster and figure out what he's saying. And sometimes it's a lot of little ham heads and little tiny mouth flaps. Mine was so easy because he had the biggest head out of all the hamsters, these big misshapen ears, and look, there's Maxwell right there. I can see him.
I played Snoozer. All he did was sleep all day. That's all Snoozer did.
And about the developing of the characters and the time it takes and things. ADR too, I find even in Black Lagoon, when Garcia comes in, there's all this stuff that happens in between with all these other episodes, right? So we don't really get a sense of what happens in between, and you get the next chunk of your character. So prelay, you get the scripts in prelay as you go, and then you just learn each time. Oh, so my character's getting a bit more emotional here. Oh, or we're going in that direction. So it develops with every new script.
Okay, unfortunately, I've been told that we're completely out of time, so I love that we went from talking about badasses with double guns and things to hamsters. It's been a roller coaster ride. Thank you guys so much for showing up.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Keep watching Black Lagoon.
I think we're running off to do autographs and stuff right now, so if you want to chat a little bit more and do some of that, we'll be there. We'll see you there.